Hello guys and welcome back to this channel. So obviously this past week was also great, right? I mean the 714 method was very good this past week as well. We had about two trades that were buys and two trades that were sell, right? So we're kind of even this past week, right? If you do not get these sales, you probably have gotten these buys, right? So that was just it this week. Now, obviously, I know most of you guys are still not using it, and some of you, due to fear or probably you don't just you have not actually trusted it very well, or you have not actually tested it on your own. So I'll try my best and I'll post a video on how to do what. I'll do your own back testing on it, right? So that you probably learn more about it and you start using it, right? So that's it. Now let's dive in. So obviously before we go in or before we start anything, I just want to wish you guys what Merry Christmas and a wonderful new year ahead. I mean your trading journey is going to be quite very good this next year, right? Because you've learned a lot all this long, right? So that's just it. Now let's dive in. So when you look at Monday, we're in a downtrend, right? So on Monday, we're in a very nice downtrend. Now, obviously, if we're in a downtrend, what we expect by the end of the 714 method is a pretty serious uptrend, right? Just after the 714 method, we expect an uptrend. Now, that's the whole concept about the 714 method. So what do you do at this moment? You look to your left, which is around this level right here, just below this, or just right after this candle right here, right after the close, you look to your left and you do what you find your levels, either a fair value gap, a support or resistance, or an order block, and you use for your entry, right? Pretty much simple and pretty much easy. So that's just how it is. It's not a big deal, right? Now, obviously, if you've noticed, you realize that this past few weeks I've been trying my best to just tell you guys to actually try your best and just analyze what's probably the trend, right? So that you just know what's happening, just to analyze the trend just a little bit before you enter into the 714 method. Now, why am I doing that? That's because we've had some losses with the 714 method. And I'm not just going to wait around and see, and I'll be like, okay, just because the 714 method is winning, or just because we are getting nice trades with the 714 method, we shouldn't tackle the losses and see what is happening. Now, what I noticed is most of the times that we had those losses is due to we not going according to the trend. Most of the times, if we have those losses, it's due to we not going according to the trend. That's just it. So now what do we do? That's why I always try my best. Just this past few weeks, I try my best and tell you guys, just analyze it just for a short period of time so that you know whether we are in an uptrend, or we are in a downtrend, right? Pretty much simple. So that was just it. Now, if you've noticed, we are in a sell or we are in a downtrend during the 714 method. So our levels, where could we have find our levels? Now, if we look to our left, we realize that price was already at a pretty strong buy level, right? So price reached a pretty strong buy level, as you can see. It was very strong, right? So that was what's our entry right there. If price retrace all the way back into this level right here, we are entering to the trade, and we are not going to hesitate, right? But here is where things get interesting, because I told you guys to do what? Just analyze the trade just a little bit, just to understand what is happening. Now, if we were to analyze this trend, we realize that we were not in an uptrend anymore, but we were rather in a downtrend, right? So obviously, when we look at it, this high just got broken, right? So we're in an uptrend, a very nice uptrend that gave us this nice high just about this level right here, which also got broken with this trend right here, right? So this trend right here broke this high, giving us our new high. But when you look at it, you realize that this low, which is our last low, just got broken through. So indirectly, that's a change of character. On a bigger time frame or in a bigger view, you realize that this is just a small change of character, but on a smaller time frame, this is probably big. Price might just push all the way up into this level, pull liquidity, and will pull all the way back down to somewhere here, right? So You and with this inside your mind, you know for sure that we are no longer in an uptrend, we are in a downtrend, but we just broke through this downtrend. So indirectly, price is just going to retrace into it, full liquidity, and will do what? It will drop, right? Pretty much simple. So that should have been your mindset again if you are going to use a trend analysis, right? But if you were not going to use a trend analysis, you would have just entered into your trade if price actually pulled to this level right here, and you might have gotten something small or something big. But no, I wouldn't do that because it's better to follow the trend. That's what I've told you already. Most of the days that we've gotten something wrong with the 714 method is due to we not following the trend. Now, when you've analyzed your 714 method, but you realize that we're in a downtrend. Where should your entry would have been? Now, obviously, you would have realized that this right here was a very strong low, right? So this right here was a very strong low. Let's just put it around somewhere here because that has the most touches. So let me try my best and bring it probably down to this level right here because it has the most touches, right? But this level right here is our last low. This right here is our last low. Let me just mark this. So this right here is our last low. Now, obviously, we have some serious touches right here before we actually broke through it, right? So indirectly, the 714 method is just pushing all the way back. This level right here, the support level, that is now going to turn into a resistance level. Price is just going to push all the way back into it, and you enter into your trade. You see how simple it is. Now, when price push all the way back into it, you enter into your sell without hesitating. Indirectly, we are using the reversed 714 method. Now you are getting it right. Pretty much simple. Now, when you look at this level, you see this number of rejections, right? So just put your stop loss above it because that's just a very serious number of sells right there. So when price gets to it, there's a very high chance that price cannot break through it, right? So your stop loss just was just supposed to be just above it a little bit, then you wait for price to push all the way back into this level and you enter yourself because you know we are pushing all the way down. We are no longer going all the way up, right? Pretty much simple. So that was just what you should have done. Now, if you had entered into a trade around this level, maybe probably before the 714 method even closes, you already know this level was a high target entered. You might have gotten from here all the way up to this level, right? So you might have gotten something like this if you had entered here. You might have gotten something from here all the way up to this level, which would have been good. Or if price either pushed to this level, you could have still gotten something, or maybe just around this resistance level, right? As you can see just right here. So that's just it. And you wait for price to do what? Go in and pick your trade, right? So obviously it's just that simple. So you can say that price actually did what? You realize that price pushed all the way up, hit our resistance zone right here. Then we had some massive sells. But because this level was very, very strong, price came all the way back into it, pull more liquidity. Now, if you're just going to use a simple 714 method without actually doing a trend analysis, you could have still gotten from here all the way up to this level right here. As you can see, price actually came back. That was what I was analyzing first. Price actually came back and picked your trade. It could have gone to this level right here. You could have gotten out because this right here could have been your first TP, right? Pretty much simple. But if you're going to use trend analysis, you could have entered around this level because this level was it has the most touches, right? And that was a very strong resistance level. When price broke through that support, you can see us just pulling all the way back to retest it before we drop, right? So that was just it. You could have just waited and price will come and pick your trade and there you go. Pretty much simple. Now, when this is happening, what is inside your mind? You are just waiting for a change of character. When you see a change of character below this trend, just right here, below this support level that just got broken through, when you see a change of character right there, you get out of the trade. I love change of characters because it's just simple. You know that that's a market structure shift. The market is shifting from what an uptrend into a downtrend, or from what a downtrend into an uptrend. You get out of the trade. Simple as that. So you could have been in this trade. It could have been a marvelous trade. As you can see, there was a market structure shift just around this level right here. So pretty much easy. You see that we came all the way down, pull back, down, pull back, and we are all the way down again. So when price came, it broke through that level. Market structure shift. You can see that what the retracement. You get out of the trade. Simple as that. You would have already gotten your first TP just below this level, and probably just around this level you might have already closed the trade because this was some serious retracement, right? One thing you should note is never allow price to retrace all the way back into probably um a 50% of your profit, right? Never allow that to happen. If you're in a trade and it's what you are getting $100 from that trade, when price is having a retracement and it retraces all the way back to what $70, get out of the trade. If you don't see anything meaningful that price should retrace back to, get out of the trade. It's that simple. You are having $100 trade, it's at $100 or it has $200, and if retracing from 200, price is retracing all the way back to 170 something or 175, 160. Get out of the trade. Don't even allow it to reach 150% of your profits. No, just get out of the trade, right? Pretty much simple and pretty much easy. So that was it on Monday. You see that if you're going to use the 714 method, you could have gotten a trade. I mean, you could have gotten a trade, right? And this trade could have been somebody's $1 million trade. I've always said it. It's not about you being in a long trade or a very yeah, it's not about you being in a long trade. It's just about the amounts or the lot size that you are inputting into that trade and the entry level. That's what matters, right? So this small trade right here could have made somebody thousands of dollars, and this right here could have still made you only hundreds of dollars, right? So it depends on your account size, and it also depends on what your entry, right? Pretty much simple. So let's go to Tuesday and see what happened. Now, obviously, Tuesday was also different, and this Tuesday we actually had a buy, right? But it actually kept a very long time before it happened. I mean, we were stressed out. But let's go to Tuesday and see what actually happened, right? So let's look at Tuesday. Now, Tuesday was pretty much stressful, despite it had the easiest trend that we've ever seen in the 714 method, which is the V trend, right? I mean, the V trend. This is very very terrible. Let me just redo it, right? So the V trend is just something like this. Price started around this level right here. As you can see, sellers came in, then buyers came all the way up again, then we pushed all the way back to the same level right here. So we're just making something like a V. So indirectly, we are just in an equal trend. Buyers and sellers are both equal inside this trend. So whenever that happens, I've told you guys, you just use your high right here and this low right here. Pretty much simple. When price breaks through this with a break of structure, you enter into a trade. When price breaks through this with a break of structure, you enter into your trades, right? Pretty much simple and easy. Now, this usually happens, and whenever we see this type of trend, usually it's very, very simple, right? But on Tuesday wasn't one of those simplest days, right? Price stressed us a lot before we actually got a trade out of it. Now, this was what you should have done. So you should have just marked your levels right here from the top. That's the highest and the lowest right here. Pretty much simple. When price do what? When price breaks above any of those, you enter into your trade, right? Now, the reason why this day was very, very stressful was because price was just manipulating inside here. Price had this trend down here, all the way back down, then push all the way up. It was just a lot of manipulation around this level right here, right? So let's look at it. Now, you might have noticed that price actually broke through here, but why didn't I talk about you entering into a trade here? Because we did not have any break of structure right here. We did not have anything that just pushed through here. This was just manipulation. As you can see, I've told you already, price manipulated for a very long time around this level. You can see this whole trend right here. You can see that was a whole trend, right? All the way down to this level right here. Then price push all the way up. Serious manipulations. On this day, there was just a lot of manipulations. Then after we crossed through this level as well, price did not give us any what break or structure to enter into a trade. We rather did what push all the way back down to this level again. So at this point, all you need to do is just try your best and wait. Sometimes patience is very, very simple because if you enter into a trade with this type of price movement, you are going to get stopped out. If you enter into a trade here, price might push all the way up and take you out, right? Before it even goes all the way down. And if you enter into a sell here too, price can still push all the way up, take out your trade before it push all the way down. That's why it's always important for you to do what? Try your best and wait for either a change of character within this level. For me, I love change of characters. I could have easily gone into a trade after this character right here was changed. Could have easily gone into a trade, but because we are still in this level right here, and this was just a lot of manipulation for me, that's why I did not go into that trade, right? But I could have entered into that trade. I love change of characters, and I would have gotten something simple or something little out of it. Just that this retracement would have been helpful, right? Pretty much simple. So that's just it. We waited for a while, but price did not do that. Price came all the way down, broke through this level. So price came all the way down, broke through this level, and I was like, okay. Then when price breaks through this level, that means we're just going to retest this level right here, and we'll probably break here so that we enter into a sell. But you'll be wrong. Price did not do that again. That's why sometimes it's just hard for beginners because probably around this time that person is already in a trade. When this candle right here was coming through, they were already in a trade around this here with their stop loss just above this level right here, and they are targeting some serious lows just below here. But meanwhile, price was just still manipulating. You can see just a lot of manipulation. There wasn't anything that shows that price is actually going up or actually going down. Price was just manipulating, right? If you're on a what a 1 minute time frame, then you could have gotten nicer trades from this, even this small movement. Could have gotten nicer trades. Fibonacci retracements on this trend right here, you could have gotten some trades out of it, right? But that's just it. Price push all the way back again. I'm telling you, this was very, very hard to watch. But we got a trade. I actually got a trade when price broke through this level right here because that was what a very nice change of character at that moment. Price, this was our last low. Price did not take it, but it came all the way up and took our last high right here. That was when I actually got into the trade. But we were still in a manipulation phase. You still could have waited for price to either cross this low right here or break through this high right here. When it breaks through this high and you see something um, just like this, so you get into your trade. Now this there wasn't that much to do on Tuesday. There wasn't that much. Trust me, there wasn't that much. I actually got into the trade around somewhere here. So let me just mark it. I won't be using it because it's about the 714 method, not my trades. So I actually got into the trade around here, but that wasn't it. So as you can see, when price broke through, I got into my trade. But you still could have waited. Let's see what happened where you could have gotten into a trade because price did go up, but this day was just too weird, right? So let's see. As you can see, pretty much easy and pretty much simple. Guys broke through it and we're retesting. Now, I've told you guys, whenever you see a lot of buys, just look at this. Whenever you see a lot of buys, it indicates a fair value gap. Whenever you see a lot of buys, just like this, that's a fair value gap. Go to a bigger time frame, you see it right there. So you could have just gone to a 15-minute time frame for a simpler entry. So this right here could have been your entry because this right here was a fair value gap right there. So when price push all the way into it, you get into your trade. Now you could have been someone who will get into the beginning of the fair value gap right here, but I don't necessarily do that, right? I like entering into trades when the fair value gap is at S 50% or probably just below the 50%, right? but I love the 50% of every fair value gap. That's why I enter into my trades. So pretty much simple. This should have been your entry right here. When price push all the way back into it, then you get into your trade. But you should have known that this trade will actually do what? Uh, take a very long time, because on Wednesday there wasn't any trading activity, right? So even if you had gotten into the trade, you could have probably left it for like a day and you close it on what, Thursday, right? So that was just it. So this should have been your entry, but because this is a what, place that price might probably pull to for a resistance, right? You could have put your stop loss just below this level right here. This should have been your entry with the 714 method, and you just wait for price to do its magic, right? So at this moment, price could have picked your trade just about right here. Price could have picked your trade, and you see how it pushed all the way up. If you're someone who actually entered into a trade, into the 714 method, or into a trade using the beginning of the what, fair value gap around here, you would have already been in the trade around somewhere here, right? So you could have been in the trade around somewhere here, and you would have taken your first TP already. But this pullback might have hurt you a little bit. So that's why I always love entering into trades with what's the middle point of fair value gaps, right? So pretty much simple. You have been in this trade, but it was a long trade because on Wednesday there wasn't any activity. So indirectly, this trade would have been closed on probably Thursday. You would not have closed it on what, Wednesday. We actually closed our trade on Thursday. I was in the trade around here, but it was a good trade so far. We actually pushed all the way up. It was a very nice trade. As you can see, it was a very nice trade. So that should have been your entry. Now you see what's happening, right? You see what happened. So these levels are very, very important whenever you see this type of trend. If you don't see any change of character below, or any what, break or structure below, don't enter into the trade. Just avoid it for a while. Let all this what, manipulation happen, then you enter into your trade, right? Pretty much simple. So let's go to Thursday and see what actually happened. So obviously on Thursday we're in a what, a downtrend, right? As you can see, we're in a very nice downtrend. And when we're in a downtrend, we look for our levels, either this level right here, this level right there, this right here, or this right here. We look for our levels and we do what, we enter into our trade, which is what's an uptrend, which is a buy going all the way up. Pretty much simple, right? So that was just what we were expecting. Simple as that. Now on Thursday there was actually news probably around this level right here. That was around somewhere 130. So it would have been around this level right here. So there was actually news on Thursday. That shouldn't be a problem, right? Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem, because we just need, all we need to do is just find our levels. And you should know that whenever there is news and your levels are good, your entries are good. Even if the entry is around somewhere here and it's a solid entry and news starts around here, trust me, it will pull all the way into this level right here. It will pull all the way into this level right here. Pick your trade and will push all the way up. I have so many trades on this channel, and this happens more often than you can think, right? So that's just it. Now, which levels should we have looked out for price to actually pull in? It's pretty much simple. If you look at it, you obviously already know the level that price should actually pull in for you to enter into your trade, right? Simple as that. Now, if you did not even know that this was the level you should have entered into the trade, you should have just tried your best and look at the trade or the trend very well. You know that this level was also pulling all the way up, or there was this push from a what, a fair value gap just around this level right here. So just mark this fair value gap. When price gets back into this fair value gap, just about here, this level right here, as you can see, when price gets back into this fair value gap, you can see the push. We are entering into the trade. Simple as that. Now, these are just obvious, some small lows, but this is a very big low right here, which is also tapping from this huge what, liquidity right here. So when price push just a little bit back into this level, you are entering into your trade. Pretty much simple. Now that's just what you need to do, and you just have to put your entries right there. You don't need to worry too much. And when price did not actually pull back to this level too, you can use a change of character and enter into your trade. Now, because this is a fair value gap that has been tested, you can equally use the middle point of the fair value gap. But when you look at this level right here, you see the type of push that was there. That was a bullish engulfing candle, meaning there was a lot of push right there. So just try your best and either you do what you put your entry just about this level right here where the push actually started, or you just put your level at the fair value gaps high. Pretty much simple as that. And you'll be targeting this level as your first TP, right? So that's just it. You should have just done this. This right here should have been your first TP. Pretty much simple. And if there is news, probably news will push all the way back into your level right here. Or price might manipulate just around this level for a while before it actually push all the way back, right? And you multiply it, you can get your what's your second TP, probably around this level right here, right? So that's just it. This is what you should have done. Now you probably say this is a huge trade. Yeah, it's obviously a huge trade, but always know that when you see a change of character, get out of the trade, right? So let's see what actually happened. Now you can see that I told you guys that there was news. You can see the way news came in and pushed price all the way up. And price came all the way down to this level right here, as you can see, all the way down to this level right here, around somewhere here. It did not get tap into our level yet. Now with this, a lot of people will start entering into trades to push all the way up, right? But under normal circumstance, there's no reason for price to push all the way up from here. When you look at it, there is no reason why price will push all the way up from here. If you say that probably price broke through a high right here, that's why this was just still the same trend. This was just still the same trend. There's no reason why price should actually push around this level. This is a big reason why price should move all the way up. But around this level, there's no reason why price should move all the way up. But you still could have been in this trade with that change of character right here. Even though this right here could have been very, very fast, right? But that wasn't what we actually did. We just waited. Sometimes you just need to wait. It's not a big deal. Sometimes you just need to wait. And when you wait, price will obviously come and do what? Pick your trade. As you can see, price took our trade. Now, if you're someone who actually puts your stop loss just probably below this fair value gap, just on here, you would have gotten stopped out. But if your stop loss was below this fair value gap right here, you wouldn't have gotten stopped out. And if you know me, and if you've seen my trees, you realize that even if my stop loss is around here, I don't still get out of the trade. I don't just pick my stop loss and come and put it there like automatic stop loss. I don't do that. I manually get out of trades because I know for sure that sometimes price will pull all the way into your stop loss and push all the way up. I've seen that several times. So when until I get uncomfortable about the trade that I'm in, I don't just get out of the trade like that. So price came all the way down, took our trade. It was a very nice trade, and we pushed all the way up. That was just what we were waiting for. So you could have just waited for us to also get this trade. It was a very nice trade on Thursday, trust me. It was a pretty simple trade and a very, very good trade, as you can see. Now, you see the difference between what I was telling you right here. There wasn't any reason for price to push all the way up here. That was just a manipulation. Price was just manipulating, trying to do what? Break through this high right here. Let me just do this for a minute. So price was just manipulating, trying to break through this high right here. So that a lot of people will use this right here as their entry. A lot of people will use this right here as their stop loss and this right here as their next stop losses, right? And price will break up through all of it, pulling liquidity from this main source because this right here, we had a reason for price to push all the way up. If you look at it, you know that there was a reason why price should push all the way up. There was a reason, there was another reason, So this was a strong low, but around this level, there wasn't any reason why price should push all the way up. So that was just a manipulation trying to manipulate you guys, and you get into a trade around here because it broke through this level and it will reverse on the way down, taking everybody out, and it will now pick a trade from here, which is the main source, and will push all the way up, giving us our first TP right here, our second TP right there. Now with this, if you had entered into three trades, you just wait for what's the change of character and you get out of the trade. It's that simple. Now I will consider this a change of character. If you're someone, because of this fair value gap right here, you could have to realize that maybe price is pulling back to this fair value gap and you leave it. But I don't joke around with change of characters. I get out pretty much easy. So as you can see, your final change of character would have happened. You would have gotten out of the trade here, but I would have gotten out around somewhere here with this or with this candle right here, because this push was very, very nice, and for price to pull all the way back and broke through this level right here, I don't think I'll be in the trade for that long again. So that was just it. As you can see, pretty much simple. So let's go to Friday and see what actually happened. So Friday was pretty much simple, right? Friday was one of the easiest day that we've gotten, or one of the easiest trades that we actually got using the 714 method, right? Because we were in an uptrend. Obviously, we're in an uptrend. Now we know we're expecting a downtrend after the 714 method elapses, right? But where was the downtrend going to manifest? Pretty simple. This fair value gap. That was it. That was the only analysis that you're supposed to do on Friday, because this push was just a very simple push, and we're just pulling back to this to pull more liquidity and we'll push all the way back down. Now, I was using a fair value. I've always been using this fair value gap indicator. I've said it several times in the comment section when people ask or something like that. It's called a fair value gap absorption by what last angle or something like that. It's a very good fair value gap indicator. Just try your best as a trader. Some of the simplest things, try your best and do what um just make it easier for yourself by using a fair value gap indicator. So it will already indicate this for you. So you know where price is already pulling into this fair value gap, because there's a lot of liquidity right here. So on Friday, that was just it. The only analysis you needed to do was just to probably draw just your fair value gap right here, and you know that price is pulling back to it. When price pushes into this fair value gap, you enter into your trade. Now, I was in this trade around this level right here because this was a solid level right here. So when price pushes into this fair value gap and we reach this level, I'm getting into the trade without hesitating, right? So that was just it. Let's see what happened. Now, as you can see, price pushed into it. Now, I was already in this trade around somewhere here when price was still pushing into it. But you could have also gotten into the trade around somewhere here when price pushed all the way out, or when price was pushing all the way out. Now, your stop loss should have always been what above the fair value gap. Always put your stop loss above the fair value gap. When price starts to move towards the direction of your entry, or the direction of your trade, then you do what? Just bring your fair value gap all the way back to what, break even, or you start reducing it in size until it becomes what, a break even, right? But always put your stop loss above the fair value gap. Very, very important. Now, I was already in a trade around somewhere here, but you still could have gotten into this trade, and your first TP could have been here. So this right here should have been your first TP, just around this level right here, because there's a lot of buys there. And you probably look for your second TP, maybe down just a little bit, right? When you try your best and do what, you bring this down to this level right here. When you multiply or when you duplicate it, this first TP, when you duplicate it, you get your second TP, right? So your second TP should have been around somewhere here. Pretty much easy, pretty much simple. Friday was one of the best days, and you just look at your trade, watch it push all the way down. Now, the fair value gap was very, very important on this trade. Actually, I'll try my best and pull the trade up so that you see it, because when we were pushing all the way up, I already know where we were going to. So pretty much simple. That was it on Friday. Now, this week we only traded for about 4 days with the 714 method, and so far it was very good. We did not have a loss throughout the week. I mean, some people would have had losses on probably Tuesday, right? Because it was somehow tricky, but that's just it. It was a very simple week, and we got some nice trades, right? So I'll see you guys in the next video, and probably just try your best and trade safe. And also this new year, try your best and do a stay safe, right? I'll see you guys in the next video.